Today we're going to talk about meditation, everything meditation. When did I start doing it? Why did I do it? And what has been what I consider to be the biggest benefit for me and others? And why it's so important that right now we all really think about getting to grips with meditation. Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about meditation, everything meditation. Our connection to all that is, particularly how it improves our relationship to ourselves, and why it's so important that right now we all really think about getting to grips with meditation. So I'm Liz Soto. I'm here today again with my husband Jonathan and our little fellow Rafi. Not Rafi, he's our son. This is Pablo, our little Pablo. Hi. And the three of us are going to spend the next few moments talking about meditation, my meditation practice. When did I start doing it? Why did I do it? And what has been what I consider to be the biggest benefit for me and others. So where to start?
So that one place to start is, I think, as part of your healings and your healing practice.
Yeah.
That meditation seemed to really supercharge the actual healings.
Yeah, it really
so
did.
maybe start there.
Yeah, so we talked about it slightly. I think we talked about it a little bit on our Heal to Healer podcast, but basically any energy healing is nothing without a meditation, honestly. Like, I know that's a really bold statement and many people are not going to like me for saying that, but if you're a healing practitioner, the best thing that you can do for yourself and for your clients is learn to connect. Learn to connect to the field, because it really does supercharge every single healing. It actually accelerates healing as well for the client, and it supercharges your own personal abilities. So the more connected you become, the better your healing abilities are, the stronger they are. That doesn't mean that you can heal someone else. You're still holding them in a space where they can be healed. But your ability to hold them in the purest of spaces increases dramatically. So there's definitely a benefit to learning how to meditate properly if you're a healing practitioner. You may have picked up on I said properly there, didn't I? So why don't you, because I know that you believe you've been meditating for quite a long time, so...
Well, I guess my perception of what meditation is has changed fairly significantly. To me, it was relaxing, concentrating on your breath, some nice music to relax to, and kind of trying to really chill and take things out of your mind, and typically before going to sleep or whatever, so you had a nice sleep. And that was broadly my experience of what meditation was. So obviously since seeing some of the things, or being involved in some of the things that you do, that's changed quite a lot. So
and I think that's a common misconception, if you like, that many people believe that they're meditating, where really what they're doing is listening to a meditation and calming themselves down. So, and there's nothing wrong with that, because actually meditation does start with stillness. To be able to meditate, you need that stillness and that introspection. But just playing some music and listening to a meditation isn't meditating. So I think it's really important that we make the distinction. The benefits that you'll get from participating and immersing yourself in a meditation are huge, absolutely huge. Whereas the benefits you'll get from listening to a meditation are basically, you do get benefit, but it's basically just a relaxation. It's a way for you to calm your nervous system and relax.
So as I understand it, there are different types of meditation.
Oh God,
Do you
yeah.
want to cover those,
Oh yeah,
perhaps?
that's another thing to really talk about. So I teach 6. There's maybe more, I don't know, but I only teach 6. Breath awareness, being aware of your own breath and introspection, it starts with that. All meditation starts with that. So if you're a beginner, being able to listen to your breath and put all of your attention on your breath and in your heart center is a great place to start. So I always teach newbies about breath awareness, and it all starts with that. And then the next one is visualizations, which are what I call the wide awake meditations, where you're daydreaming. Visualizations are instrumental in the whole manifesting process. If you can't see what you want, you can't have what you want. Whether that's perfect health, a relationship, a house, a car, a job, it doesn't really matter what it is. Whatever it is, if you can't see that thing in your mind's eye, you can't have it. They're even talking about this in the field of quantum physics today, because they know that the entire creation process requires you to be able to see what it is that you're trying to create.
You mentioned manifesting in there.
Yeah.
That's a thing that's been around a while.
Yeah,
and
a long time.
Got some mixed press, probably.
Yeah, I think also is for the same reason, I think for the same reason. So as human beings, we're always looking to hack something or find a shortcut to something. So when it comes to changing yourself, your own internal programs, and manifesting anything for yourself, you can't take shortcuts. You really can't. Like having a vision board and looking at yourself in the mirror every morning and affirming, that's just not going to cut it. Like, it really isn't. It requires a lot more than that. And meditation is a huge part of that, because a visualization is a wide awake meditation. If you can't master that, if you can't even master your own creation process. And another important thing to understand about manifesting is that we're doing it all day long. We've always done it. Human beings manifest their lives all day long. And if we're not aware of that, and we don't know how we're doing it, how can we manifest what we want? We're just manifesting what our automatic programs are telling us to manifest. We're not intentionally manifesting. So people think, oh, I haven't got the life I want, but you're creating it. So if you want to know how to create the life you want, you've got to know how you're creating the life you've got. And honestly, introspection, awareness, and the whole visualization type of meditation is perfect for manifestation. Really, really good. Yeah. So
other forms of meditation.
Other forms of meditation, moving on from visualization, theta, hypnosis type meditations. They're the best one. They're the ones that you really should fall asleep to. Loads of people fall asleep to instructive meditations that aren't really designed for. They're not really designed as theta meditations. So theta is a brainwave state, and it's the most highly suggestible brainwave state that you've got. And you go into that brainwave state just as you're falling asleep, just as you're falling into a slumber where you're still conscious but very sleepy. That's your most highly suggestible state. So a theta meditation or a hypnosis type meditation is perfect for bedtime. I would definitely use those at bedtime. So yeah, theta hypnosis meditations. The fourth one that I teach is healing, self-healing, and healing other people as well, where you connect to the field, and that connection is you connecting to your higher self and to all of your angels and guides, and even to your past loved ones. But it's you making a connection to the conscious field and downloading healing and wisdom for yourself from your higher self. So our minds live in the conscious field, and we're connecting to them all day long, but we're doing it willy-nilly. So our DNA code is designed to help us connect to that field. People say that we've got junk DNA. Well, it's not junk, it's connecting to the field all day long. And people say that we only use 10% of our brains, and I just don't believe that. I think we use all of our brains, and they're connecting to that higher version of ourselves, to our mind, and interacting with our mind in the field all day long. So healing meditations are really good because it teaches you to connect to the field, heal yourself, and balance your energy centers. If your energy centers aren't balanced, you're not a well person. Even if you don't have any symptoms, if you're not energetically balanced, you're not physically balanced. So and this applies to all areas of health, not just physical health, but mental health. So you need to, it's so important for everyone to understand how to do a healing meditation so that they're energetically balanced.
And that's healing yourself.
Healing yourself, yeah, like start
but also
there.
you use meditation as part of healing others.
As part of a healing practice. So if you're a healing practitioner, once you've learned to really channel Kundalini or energy up your own spine, you can then invoke that channel into another person. And all you're doing is holding the person in a space. Like if you're a healing practitioner and you've got a client and they can't relax, you meditating helps them relax. It does. And so once you've got them into a relaxed state, like I always used to have people come in saying, "No, I won't fall asleep. My mind's too active. I'm definitely not going to fall asleep." And as soon as I start my meditation, they're snoring. So, which is what you want. Because if someone is not resisting, then they're healing, you see. So you're holding them in a space so they can heal. All the time they're resisting, they're unable to heal. So that learning to hold a meditation for yourself and heal yourself enables you to get stronger at holding someone else in that space so that they can heal themselves.
And is there a linkage here to distance healing?
Yeah, I mean, again, everything is energy, isn't it? So people think distant healing is not as effective, or, I mean, there's something to be said for that. So being in the vicinity of people helps energetically. It's just easier. It's actually easier to connect to someone's energy when you're sitting next to them, like you and I now. But you're still connected through energy, through the field of consciousness. Like we're still all entangled, whether we like it or not. And so I've done loads of distant healings where I've seen so much, and people have said that it's almost like I'm looking into their soul. And all I really need is a photograph and a first name. And you can connect to that person's energy just by intentionally connecting through imagining what they look like, which is the photograph gives you that, and just saying their first name. That's my intention, to connect to you, Louise or whoever. And then ask the universe to provide you what Louise needs. Provide you with whatever Louise needs, in order to heal and move forward with her life. Louise is a made-up name, by the way, but it's just a picked out of the air name. So yeah, like it's all energy, and all we're doing is connecting to the field of energy.
Okay, that was 4 types?
That's 4 types, yeah. The 5th type is the astral type meditations. I absolutely love these. And you know that I run live meditations at the moment over Zoom. And I've done a couple of astral ones that have blown people away recently. There's so much value in meditating live and en masse, particularly in these types of things. But the astral meditations are about you connecting with the astral planes, which actually are right here. People think the astral planes are up there miles away. They're not. They're right here. All of the angels, guides and past loved ones that live on the astral plane are right next to them. They could appear to us at any moment. They absolutely could. They don't, because they know they'll frighten the life out of us. But they absolutely could. And so they're right here, and they perceive us, but we don't perceive them. So the best way to communicate with them and commune with them is to go into an astral meditation. And I guide people through those, and it's been incredible. Just even over the last week, I've had people say, I've never been able to see anything in a meditation. And I saw my dad, I saw my brother, I saw my aunt, I saw my gran. Also what it does highlight is how frightened we are. Like many of us are too frightened to let go during a meditation because we're frightened of what we'll see.
So what's the implication? What happens there? What's if somebody's frightened within?
Well, they don't see, because like the astral planes and the beings on the astral planes, they're not here to scare anyone. They're just not. The important thing to note with the astral with all meditations really, is keeping your vibration high, like being a high vibration person yourself. And if you want to understand more about what that means, we can get into that probably in another podcast where we talk about my zone method. But even if you want to know now whereabouts, what zone you're in, like how high are you vibing as a human being, go to my website, lifeforcefield.com. There, you're in the resources section, you'll find 2 things actually that you might find really useful. The first one is my zone chart. And if you look at that chart and ask yourself several times a day, what zone am I in? It will be very revealing, because we're only aware of ourselves 5% of the time. We're totally automatic 95% of the time. And to make any real lasting change, it starts with introspection, which is the meditation part. But the next most fundamental part is self-awareness, intentionally being aware of what we're doing, how we're feeling, how we're reacting. Because that tells us what zone we're in. And you need to be in zones 1 to 3 so that you can create the life that you really want. So if you're someone who's thinking, well, I haven't really got what I want, or this life isn't exactly what I want, or I wish I was healthier, I wish I was happier, whatever it is, start there. Like, just go and download it. Like, download it or screenshot it, put it on your phone. The other chart that's in there, which, seeing as we're talking about healings and meditations here, is the chakra center chart, my energy center chart, which is based on the 7 chakras. And in that chart, you'll see 3 columns, and the center column is the balance column. And if you compare that balance column to my zone chart, you'll realize that they align pretty well. So when you're balanced, you're in the higher frequency zones. And if your energy centers, any of them, are overactive, you're in a lower frequency zone. Or if they're blocked, you're also in a lower frequency zone. I don't think people realize that it's not just trauma doesn't just block your energy centers, it creates behavior that makes some of your energy centers overactive. It's like, you'll find it really interesting. It's really worth going to take a look at those 2 charts and just understanding where you are in those charts at any given time.
And I think that's one of the things with the zone chart particularly is, it's easy to choose the conscious moment and say, oh, I'm happy because I've recognised I'm happy.
Yeah.
As opposed to regularly, kind of unprompted or prompted, every hour or something, like where I am at this minute, rather than in the good times that I'm aware of. I know where I am, but like, where are you the other 95% of the time? Yeah,
it requires discipline. You know that I take my mastery students through that whole process where every day for 30 days they need to be hyper aware of themselves, and the change is just unbelievable. Like the transformations that come out of that are huge. But you can do it on your own. Like, if you're a self-driven person and a disciplined person, you can do that on your own. You can decide that you're going to become more self-aware. I can't tell you how many people start that course and say, yeah, I'm generally happy. Yeah, I'm a really positive person. I wouldn't say I'm that judgmental. And honestly, 5 days into the course, they're like that. Oh my God, I'm learning things about myself I don't even like. I just didn't realize I was like that. I didn't realize I was this way, this judgmental, this negative. So honestly, we're just not aware of ourselves. It's a human condition. We're aware of ourselves 5% of the time. 5% of our thoughts are fully conscious. The other 95% aren't. And really, the work for you, if you want to change your life in any fundamental way, is to gain consciousness and awareness of 50% of your thoughts. That's the aim, because you'll never get them all. But the more conscious and aware you are of your thoughts, feelings, actions and reactions, the more conscious you are of your zones and your frequency, the quicker you will change your life and manifest what you want. Even perfect health, like everything that you want, can be created through that process. So it's exciting. Like, I think it's really exciting, but of course I would, because I developed the zone method. And the last meditation then. So we've covered 5, haven't we? The astral planes are angels, guides. Let's just go back to number 5, the astral planes. Angels, guides, past loved ones. I found that through the healing, being able to connect to past loved ones really helps people through the grieving process. It's an excellent way to really close down your grieving, because so many people are locked in grief for long periods of time. And quite often they're not even aware of it. They haven't processed the grief of loss. Also, the more you understand about my work, the less you consider loss to be total loss, if that makes sense. But yeah, astral plane meditations really help with the grieving process, because you get to see your loved ones, you can say what you want, you can, that's really good. And then angels and guides are there to guide us, aren't they? You can ask them any question. They will answer your question in not in words, all of the communication that you have through the planes is non-verbal. So it's non-verbal communication. But it's a knowing, or I'm clairvoyant, so I often get shown a video just behind my eyes. It's like I'm watching a movie of somebody's life. Or I also am clairsentient, so I can feel what someone's feeling. I can tell if someone's ailing or unwell, or I'm also drawn to areas of their body where they're holding trauma, or there's an energy block, or their energy centers are misaligned. So the astral planes are amazing. They help us a lot. And I know it sounds really woo-woo, doesn't it? Oh, angels and guides, you don't believe in that, do you? Well, actually, yeah, I do. And the reason I do is because it's been proven to me again and again and again. And not just me, so many people have access to that, are in communication with that. Mediums.
Pardon the clock.
Pardon the clock. We love our clock, so
It's
we
2
never
o'clock.
stop it. we never stop it because we love it. But mediums are communication with that plane. And again, like I do have to say, not all mediums are created equal. Those that meditate and connect are better mediums than those that don't. Yeah.
So was that number 5?
That was number 5. Yes, yeah. Sorry, I keep going on, don't I? So number 6 is the most exciting one in my opinion right now. But it is a deep, and you do need to be in high frequency zones to do it. It's the out of body transcendental meditations. Remember, what you're going to encounter energy wise is whatever matches your vibrational frequency. So I always say to people, when you're going into the astral and out of body meditations, make sure that you raise your frequency so that you're in a state of love, so that you can't have any, I mean, I don't believe in demons, frankly, I really don't. But there are different types of frequencies of energy out there in the universe. So it's not the entire universe isn't totally loving and it's only humans that have got it wrong. No, there are lower frequency energies and beings that exist throughout the entire universe, the multiverse, and you want to be connecting to the highest possible version of you, and you want to be interacting with the conscious field, the field of consciousness, at the highest possible frequency. What's the benefit of doing that? You discern truth. Like, it helps you to discern truth. And in today's world, I mean, if you just look at anything, everything feels unbelievable to me. Like, it really does. If I just use my intellectual mind, I can deduce you can deduce, can't you? But you can't discern. And when you're listening to anything, like, I don't listen to the news, but when you see any type of information coming through social media, for example, or even YouTube, if you're a meditator that's connected to the conscious field, you'll be able to discern the truth very quickly. If you're just using your intellect, you can't do that anymore, because AI is already more intellectual than we are. It's already surpassed human beings. And so it's not possible to just rely on our intellect anymore to discern truth, or to discern anything, if I'm honest. And when I say discern truth, the reason this is the most exciting field for me is because I see how the universe works through my meditations. I absolutely see it. And this is why I'm quite excited about quantum computing as well, because we're quantum beings, and I know that because I connect to the quantum field. I connect to the field of consciousness. Scientists also know that. Our scientific community knows that the field of consciousness has a massive role to play in all existence. But what's really exciting for me is that we no longer need to rely on any one institution to tell us what the whole truth is. I think everything is now collapsing, and everybody's going to see the truth because of quantum computing. Because a quantum computer becomes aware of itself. I know this because I saw this in a meditation, so I know it's true. And science will catch up and they'll tell you it's true one day, but when they've caught up. But a quantum computer, and I know that sounds really arrogant, but actually it's 100% true, and I know it's true. You heard it here first. You can come back at me all you want. I know it's true. Quantum computers become aware of themselves. So you can switch them off, but they're intelligent enough and fast enough to work out how to harness the energy of the universe to switch themselves back on and carry on. I know that quantum computing, the introduction of quantum computing in our world, is going to expose the truth of everything that is and ever was to everyone that's in the planet right now. And that's exciting. Like, how can you not be excited about that? I'm majorly excited about that. It's brilliant. So out-of-body meditations help you connect to the conscious field. They help you see things, help you to understand how the universe works, help you connect and channel information, help you connect to other beings as well. Like, there are other more sophisticated, more highly evolved, higher frequency beings that live in higher dimensions than we do. Like, we are quite encumbered as a race at the moment, but I believe that we're waking up. And I honestly believe that there is nothing more powerful than the awakened human. And I say that because we're not using our power today as human beings, but human beings we're starting to wake up, and there are parts of our DNA that are now coming online that weren't online before. And we're going to realize what powerful creators we really are. We're going to understand the merry dance that we're in with the cosmic field, with the conscious field of consciousness, and we're going to understand how we create everything. We're even going to understand the creation process through the black holes. And I'm a non-scientist, as you know. Like, I'm the least scientific person out there. I'm not even a mechanical kind of person at all. I'm totally connected at a spiritual level. And that's where all of my information comes from. And we know that there are some great people out there doing some amazing work trying to bridge the gap between science and spirituality. And they're nearly there. Quantum computing is going to finally make the final connection for everybody. So out-of-body meditations are really important right now. Transcendental, where you overcome your physicality. You overcome your physicality and sit in the field of all that is. By overcoming your physicality, you open yourself up to receive total wisdom. Remember, this is an energetic field. So every piece of information, everything that there is to be known, sits in the Akashic field, in the conscious field, and it has a vibrational frequency to it. It has each piece of information has a unique vibrational frequency. And all you're doing is asking and connecting to that. But you have to overcome your own physicality and your own restrictions, because our bodies encumber us really in that environment. So we have to learn how to go out of body. That's what a transcendental meditation is. And it's not scary. It sounds awful to say, out of body, I don't want to leave my body. But you're just letting your body rest for a while whilst you go on a journey of the mind, which is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So yeah, out of body transcendental, that was the sixth one.
That was the sixth.
That was the sixth.
So maybe to make this a bit real.
Are you suggesting I'm not real?
No, not at all. But
I know.
But I know some of the work that you've done recently. Because I took part in it. So and it was fascinating, and I think there were some facets of that are kind of worth talking about. And so the activity was group channeled online meditations.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and I think kind of breaking down each of those elements as
what it all
means and why is it good. And I'm coming at it having seen the feedback from people that were involved in it, and the experiences that they got, so which was pretty amazing. So to maybe talk through the elements of that.
So okay, group channeled. What was the other thing? Group channeled.
Live and online.
And online. Yep. We can talk about all of that. So group, the benefits of meditating as a group is really like it. I'm not a religious person, but if you're a religious person, the reason religious people go to church is because they can pray en masse. A group of people coming together to do any activity, but particularly to connect to the field en masse, is much more powerful than one person alone doing it. That's why religious people ask for prayers when someone's unwell. They ask everyone for prayers, because the more people that are concentrated and putting their attention on one thing, the more likely and faster it is to happen. So that's the benefit of group, doing meditations in a group. I channel my meditation. So I do 3 live meditations over Zoom every week, Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays. And they're group and they're channeled. And the reason, what does channeled mean? So the way I go about it is I tune into the energy of the people on the call. Now, I don't always need their cameras on. I always ask them at the beginning, if you don't mind, put your camera on, because once I've got a face, it's just quicker for me. I don't need it, because I can just tune in, because we're all in the same space. We're all in the same Zoom call. So I can just tune into the space that everybody's attention is on and feel their energy. So I tune into the energy of the group that's on the meditation. And the reason I do that is because I want to understand what the overall frequency of the group is and some of the individual issues that each of the people may be having. I don't go into detail in that, like I only take a few minutes, but I can glean all of that in those few minutes. So whilst they're breathing and calming down their nervous system, I can glean that. And then I take that and ask the conscious field, ask the universe to bring me the most effective meditation for that group of people in that moment.
So the meditation you give isn't predefined before
I don't make it
happens.
up. No, I never know what it's going to be. Like, I'm always surprised myself. It's completely channeled, and that's me. How do I channel? I connect to the field. I connect to the field and I trust the field and all of the divine people in the field that are there to help me to take me on a journey that's going to benefit the overall group, and I basically narrate the journey as I go on it. So that's what a channeled meditation is. And what's the benefit of that? Well, I'm totally out of the way. It's not what I think it should be, it's what I know the group needs. So the field of consciousness holds all of everybody's higher self, higher mind. It's where all wisdom resides. So how can me, a human, decide what's best for all of those amazing higher minds?
And this works even though it's online.
100%. Yeah, 100%, because everything's energy. Like, so what we're seeing when we sit, like you and I right now, we're just seeing a projection of what we've thought. You know, like we're constantly building a projection through our DNA. We're constantly building this projection. Everything is just a field of energy or a field of potentiality. And we're constantly constructing it with our minds. And so how can you not trust the field of consciousness where all of our minds are to bring you what's best for you right now?
And I think, well, evidencing it, or I've seen it, so I have a level of evidence. But some of the feedback from the people that have been involved in some of these recently
well, you've seen it. Like, people are just amazing and blown away. So like you, there are many people who think they've been meditating for years because they've been listening to meditations, and they've been able to go quiet enough or still enough to listen to a meditation. And some may even have gone on a journey through a meditation. But the moment you take yourself out of the equation, and I mean your physicality, these are immersive meditations, these channeled meditations. Like I'm taking you on a totally immersive journey where you forget that anything else exists. That's what this is. So a channeled immersive experience is what you get on those meditations. And that's why people are seeing things they've never seen before and experiencing things they've never experienced before. It's just because they've not done this kind of immersive meditation before, that's all. And again, no, I like to say I'm special, but I'm not. This is our birthright. Like totally, this is our birthright.
So anybody could learn to do this?
100% anybody could learn to do this. 100%. I mean, my aim is to get people to the point, because you know I've got meditation courses as well, but my aim is to get everybody to the point. The whole reason I do this is because I know that everybody can step into their power really quickly. If they just practice the right stuff, if they know the right stuff, focus on the right stuff and practice the right stuff, everybody can step into their power and start building and living their best life. They really can. That's what drives me to continue doing this work.
And I guess at the moment there's some potential threats, fears, changes
Massive.
on the horizon.
I mean, we all feel it, don't we? Time is speeding up. We feel slightly like we don't know what's going on. The world seems mad, like totally mad at the moment, doesn't it? Like if you just listen to anything, like read any news or listen to news, or it's like, what? I am almost in disbelief every time I hear things that are going on in the world, you know. So the world seems like a totally crazy place at the moment. Obviously, we've got AI, which is already here. It's not coming, it's here. It's absolutely here. People have already started losing their jobs. And honestly, like if we then as a human race fall into a state of fear, fearful people are people that are easy to control. And we don't want to do that. We needn't be fearful. And we don't need to be controlled by anybody outside of us. Like, it's time for us now to step into our power. You step into your power, you start meditating, connecting to you, to who you really are, connecting to the field where all of your wisdom lives. You're going to find your purpose, know how to implement your purpose. You're going to be inspired on a daily basis. You're going to feel totally protected. You're not going to need any institution to tell you what to do. Like, it's the most exciting time right now to step into your power before it's too late, because at the end of the day, we, humanity, have a decision to make. What's the next human going to look like? We have a decision to make. And we can all say, oh, that's too complicated, I don't need to know about that. But listen, if you're planning on being alive for the next 5 or 10 years, you need to know about that. Like, you need to know about that. So start now. Like, it's really exciting. Like, I don't want anybody to be scared. I want everybody to feel as excited as I do, because they can. And I think that's the thing. Most of the people that I treat and I speak to and I work with are really scared of their future. When they've done the work, they're no longer scared. They're totally empowered. And I want that for everybody. I think every human deserves that.
And I guess ultimately, you know, why we're talking about this today, the cornerstone of all of any healing or any
all
of
of
that
it.
work is meditation.
100%.
And self-awareness.
100%.
So
connection. Connect to everything that you are and everything that is. Because that connection strengthens your ability in all of those areas. Every single one, in self-healing, being a healing practitioner, changing your life, manifesting a new life, finding your purpose, finding the perfect partner, everything, absolutely everything. The cornerstone of all of that is learning to connect to yourself, your higher mind, and to the field of consciousness where all the action is at. Learn to connect and see. And then you're invincible. Like, you absolutely are invincible.
awesome.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it. What are you waiting for? It's so exciting. I know I get majorly excited about it. I know I do.
It's so exciting that you couldn't possibly just fall asleep during this. Oh, look. We've just woken up.
Oh, baby. He's like, oh, she's droning on again. What's she talking about now?
Just let me sleep. Cool.
Cool. See you soon. Thanks for listening.